Today we're getting a massive semi-truck load of hardwood logs. How's it going, guys? I hope everybody's doing well today. I have a giant semi-truck load of not cherry. I used to get all cherry logs, but now they're gonna be hardwood this load. Gotta clear out the space for them, and then yeah, we're gonna drop the logs right here. I'll show you guys that. I'm getting another semi-truck load next week because I'm getting that big piece of equipment, remember? I'm not gonna tell you guys what it is, but we're gonna put 10 cord here, and then we're gonna spread the other 10 cord out, so. All right, he's here. We're gonna move some big logs back. I didn't have enough time to clear all of it, so we're gonna move it with this big grappler. Next week, I'm getting another full load, and that's going to be all cherry. So we're going to stack that load right in front of this one. So we're going to have a wall of 20 cord of logs. It's going to be pretty sick. Well, here we are. Great guy, I love that guy. This load, he knocked $100 off of it because there's some holes and stuff in some of the wood, but I'm fine with that. I paid $100 a cord for this load, and it's all really good stuff that's gonna dry really fast for me. So what I do with these loads, they've already been cut for a while and they're small. It's probably one of the biggest ones right here, and that's probably 15 inches, right around there, because he uses the rest for, he gets that boarded up to mills. So I cut this, I split it, I let it dry for a month, and then it's ready to go. So that's why you should always buy smaller logs, and logs that have already been cut for a while. They've already been sitting, you know, they've been drying, and the point of the smaller stuff is so it dries faster. Since the middle of the wood is where that water is going to want to sit, so the bigger the log, the more moisture is going to be trapped inside the middle. But next week I'm getting a load. He said it's all going to be cherry, and we're going to put this whole thing, we're going to get another 10 cords laid right in front of here. It's going to be all cherry. So right now, cherry logs, I probably still have another 2.5 cord to cut up and process. So all I'm selling right now is really premium hardwood cherry, and I'm getting a really good rate for it, so I want to keep that going for as long as I can. But something we talked about is, you know, loggers, these trees don't just come from nowhere, you know, they clear land, and that's how they get these logs, right? And he said that they're moving spots, and this new spot is going to be all oak. So it got me thinking, right? I'm thinking about my process, what I do, and I'm like, well, crap, oak doesn't dry that fast at all. It dries really, really slow. But I can sell it at a really good price if it is dry. So it got me thinking, and it made me realize that I'm gonna expand the crap out of the Woodyard, and I'm gonna put all this down. Once I get my new splitter, I'm gonna put all this split on pallets there ready to be sold, and then I'm gonna have a giant oak bin, and I'm gonna get all that oak, and I'm gonna split it. Hopefully, maybe I might even split that stuff before I try to do all this stuff. But I'm gonna have a giant oak bin. It's all gonna be oak, and that's gonna sit. Hopefully I'm gonna be able to sell that oldest to newest. I'll have to figure that out. But that's another big aspect here, guys. When you have your firewood pallet bins, you need to figure out how to sell oldest to newest. So split stuff on maybe the right side, and then consider that your old. Split new stuff on the left side and sell right to left. You know what I mean? But that guy's really cool. This is 10 cord, $1,000. Can't beat that. The biggest scare in the firewood business for a guy like me is not having enough logs. So I said, hey, if you can just bring me 20 cord right now, I won't bother you for like 2 months. Because I do sell, right now I'm selling right around 10 cord a month. So we're doing really, really well over here. me and my dad. And with this new piece of machinery, I wouldn't hesitate to say we could do 20 cord a month. Sold 4 cords this week. So we're just going up. But isn't that grapple trailer pretty cool, guys? I find it fascinating every time he comes here and drops. And he moves. I'll show you guys. I bought these logs from a different guy over here. These logs to the right. I bought these from a smaller guy. Big mistake. They're crappy, whatever. And I made that mistake because I was scared that I wouldn't have enough wood. I was selling too fast. So that's why Chrisman the Woodyard is always right when he says the right amount of wood is always more. So have more, because once you get off the ground and you start getting a customer base and word gets around about how good your firewood is, everybody and their mother is gonna want it, all right? So if you have that stock, you just sell, 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 sell. And there you go, baby. That's firewood. But anyways, these logs, he grapples them and he moves them because I don't have a tractor yet or anything like that. So he grapples them and he moves them for me. And I plan ahead, you know? I'm like, all right, well, if I get the crappy logs that I shouldn't buy, if I get them dropped here, my buddy with the logger can just grapple them and move them if I need to. So that's no problem. So I always keep that in mind because that's a big help. That thing, it's a 28-foot arm grapple. It's crazy. So the reach on that is nuts. But yeah, I'll move you guys back over here to this 10 cord. It's pretty crazy, this stuff. So I'll walk you guys through kind of the species. So it's all maple family besides some cherry and walnut, but like, so here's some walnut right here. And then you have, oh shoot. So this is box elder right here. It's basically the same thing as maple. This is elm right here. It looks like hickory in the middle, that's elm. A lot of hard maple here. There. There's a little bit of cherry too right here. And then another cherry here. There's another really nice cherry on the end there, but I asked him, I was like, can you explain the species to me? Because, you know, I'm not one to sit down and study bark and the inside of the wood and all that. And the best way to gain knowledge like that is through people like him that have been doing it for years and years and years, and they know like the back of their hand, and they know the best ways to describe the species to you. So I just asked him, and that's what I do with everything. I try to ask all the experts. Yeah. Well, here we are. Next week we'll have 10 more log cords. It'll all be cherry. So I'm going to continue this cherry train as long as I can. And then we're going to go back to hardwoods probably once the winter hits. We're just getting into fall. As you can see, it's getting pretty cold this morning, but we're going to transition to hardwoods and then all oak. So be ready for that. It's going to be a big change. I might try to find a different source. I'm always going to keep that guy, don't get me wrong. He's going to service me as long as I'm in business, as long as he's in business. I'm going to be his top customer, for sure. And I do that, I stay with one guy so that I'm like, hey man, if you could set aside some cherry and some maple, really appreciate it. He'd be like, no problem, because he knows I will take the load every time. I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to be there every time. And really, I take a load whenever he's got one for me. So, like the last cherry load I got, somebody canceled. And he said, I'm on my way. I said, okay, cool, I'll be there. Because that's what you have to do sometimes. That's what it takes. But anyways, I appreciate all you guys watching, sticking around. That's kind of the 2 cents, what's going on here these days. I'm going to keep you guys in the loop, keep you updated. But I appreciate all the support. We're going to keep going. I'm going to try to upload a long form video every single day, a short every day, get a live in there whenever I can. I'm gonna be consistent for you guys, that's for sure. So you stick around. This channel will not disappoint you. You get to watch a business grow from, I was selling half truck beds, half face cords, and now here we are. So I appreciate you guys. We're gonna keep going. I'm the most motivated I've ever been right now. Right now I'm going to my office job, unfortunately, but yeah, really means a lot to me, you guys. We're gonna keep growing. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.